Hey, Tracy here with day 7 of our progressive exercises for my stroke survivors. We are on the chair series and we're going to jump right into it, warming up the hips. And this is what you call a hip slide, is what I like to call it. I'm left side affected, so I'm starting off with my right side. I'm going to stress again to please do these in front of a mirror. It really helps with proprioception. I want you to do this in front of a mirror so the brain can recognize and understand what the non-affected side is doing. And then as we go to work on the affected side, it kind of helps trigger those muscles to start moving properly. So even if you have to assist it. So I'm gonna start off with my non-affected side, and because my chair is moving, we're really gonna focus on pressing down into the ground to make sure I keep the chair stabilized. And as you see, I'm literally taking the foot across and sliding. And as you see the piece of paper under my left leg, and that's to help you slide that better when you get to that position, especially because you may not have full function in that left leg, having something up underneath it will help you slide it better. But at the same time, your stronger side will help you assist it. So with this one, we're working on 15. So as I'm taking this out, I'm focused on squeezing the glute, working my abductors as I take it out, and coming back in across the floor and working the adductors here. So really focus on that. Again, being in the mirror so you can see, especially when you get to your affected side, because you may not have full function. You may not be able to tell if you're moving it correctly or moving it wide enough to actually activate the hips. And again, I'm gonna hold on to my chair like such because my chair moves, and we're working on, and I'm pushing into the floor right here to help me move that. So if you don't have the mobility to move your leg on its own, this slide is really gonna be great for you. And I'm pulling it back over. And again, still the same thing, we're going for 15. So if you have somebody that can assist you with that, definitely have them assist you, because this could be rather tricky in the sense of make sure, I always tell people with that hand, because it just kind of dangles and does what it wants. Take it, if you can pry those fingers open and put it on the edge of the chair and grasp it there. So therefore, it kind of gives you a base while you're trying to pick your leg up and lift it and slide it left and right. And we're working 15 of these. So I'm left side affected. So with that affected side, you definitely may have to give it assistance if you don't have the mobility and the functionality on its own. And we're going for 15 of those. Still, the goal is to activate the glutes, even though you may not be able to feel it. So that's why I want you to really pay attention in the mirror to make sure we're taking it out wide enough to focus on activating those glutes. Bring it back in, and we're working the adductors. So after our chair slides, and that's with our knees staying bent, we're actually going to go, it's another slide, but we're going to challenge it a little more. Slide closer to the edge of the chair. Let me turn this out. As you can see, I'm really pulling all the way up, because from the side, this is what I'm doing now. Boom. So right there, that's all abductors. Driving here, out to the side, and our goal is to pull it back in, activating those adductors. I'll turn it forward, I'm sorry, so you can see what that looks like. Boom. Even as I'm doing this, I don't know why this just reminded me of some Soul Train type of thing. Old school dances when they trying to slide across the floor. And really focusing again. So this, you may need some assistance. I'm gonna show you what my body looks like from the side. So really trying to focus on get that leg over. So you see I'm leaning forward, I'm pushing off the chair. Show you each angle so you can see what's going on. And I'm doing one of these to get that leg over there. With this slide, this one is a little harder. The first one's 15. I'm gonna challenge you to do 12 of these. Well, I'm gonna say 10 to 12. Slide over, really squeeze and activate the glute. And you'll also feel this in your core muscles working, because you're trying to focus on making sure you're not falling out of the chair as well. So definitely, I'm pushing a little because I'm in a rolling chair and I'm not against the wall. So please make sure you're up against the wall or something. Make sure your chair is stable and not moving. So 10 to 12 of those. Let's see how we do this on this affected side. Again, pop that hand, up underneath your chair or angle. Honestly, let me push against the wall and show you how you can still do this against the wall. It would actually be great if I'm gonna go that way. I'm gonna go this way. So what is happening here, I'm taking my stronger side, my right hand, I'm pushing against the wall here as I work on taking that leg out. So that's gonna give me a base to push that leg over further because I'm pushing off of the wall. So in retrospect, if your leg doesn't quite move on its own, we're pushing off the wall and using this paper to slide across. And then guess what? You need that assistant to pull that leg back in. So these handy dandy pants are for. Boom, drive that leg back in, all the way in, all the way in. And we're going back out. Pushing out, pushing out, pushing out with the leg. Or you can keep focus, pushing there. We can lean up against the wall as such. Push out even more. And again, try to straighten that out, 10 to 12. Great, if you do have somebody assist, you have them help you and slide that leg all the way out, slide it all the way out. And we're working on pulling it back in. And we're back out, pushing off the wall. Back in. Again, and on purposely, I'm telling you, not utilizing my own strength, I'm showing you how to pull over with your legs. But if you have the mobility to do this on your own, it will look as such. Driving it out, pulling it back in, and going back out. I'll turn sideways for the last one to show you again what that looks like. Pushing off to the side, push over, over, over. Squeeze them glutes, pull it back in. And we're going 10 to 12 on these, guys. Alrighty. We're gonna keep these slides though, because now we're gonna work on just generally, I'll turn sideways, sliding forward and back. Really just working on all functionality of the leg, things we don't think about, but everything helps get that movement back and strengthening mobility, all those little small ligaments and joints in your legs that we don't think about. So we're just doing forward and back slides with this now. Giving you some mobility in your knee joints. Driving it all the way in as far as you could go. All the way in. And right back out. Fully extend. So now dorsiflex the foot as you come up. And driving it back in. You see with all of these, I'm starting off with my non-affected side because these are maybe a little more challenging. And our legs are our strongest part of our body, biggest muscle group. And sometimes those bigger muscle groups take you a little more work to get them fired up. So this slide is gonna be your help. It's gonna be your assistant to really get some function in that. So with our forward and back slides, we're gonna go, our goal is gonna be 15 of these, definitely. 15 of these. And drive that foot all the way up. And what I want you to focus on, if you're still dealing with that foot drop, you definitely may have to have somebody help you here. As they go to help you put that foot up, you could actually have them push forward into it. So therefore you'll start to get that stretch in that calf muscle here. Help you push that foot back down and driving it all the way in. And when you're driving it in, we're now on the toes pushing through, working that calf muscle again. We're gonna switch to our affected side. Let's see what that looks like. Slide into the edge of the chair so I can really get a boost as I'm pushing this out. I'll start back first and move this leg out the way. And it really may take some pushing into the floor to get that side moving. And so in retrospect, I will use the wall because I don't want anybody falling. Take your time as you're doing these things. I do not want you injuring yourself. So and our wall has been our friend through these exercises through the whole series, because we can utilize that as a base to hold us upright. So driving that foot all the way back as such. And if it's not moving on its own, we're using those pants. Pull, pull, pull. And then we'll do the same thing. I need to drop my foot into the floor to make sure I can assist it with pushing all the way out. And I'm gonna keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. As I'm leaning on the wall to hold me up. Pushing. There we go, the heel is up. And we're driving all the way back in. Keep rolling. Tear my paper up a little bit. There we go. Toes up. Toes up. Activating the calf muscles. Focus on pulling back in. I'm trying not to lose my paper. So you may have to adjust that. Have somebody come and help you adjust that to make sure that foot stays on there and your sock doesn't come off. Or don't do it with socks. Boom. Driving it all the way back in. Here. So now, since we've done those, again, those are 15. We're going to work on our heel taps today. So we got slides and heel tap. What that looks like is, pull this up so you can see. What that looks like is this. Slide closer to the floor. We're literally driving up, trying to activate the calf muscle, pressing the heel back down. Kind of like I did the gas pedals when we were on the floor. It was probably like day 2, I think. We had gas pedals down on the floor and trying to dorsiflex and plantarflex the foot. And for our heel taps, actually we're gonna go for 20 of these. We're definitely gonna go for 20 heel taps. So again, starting off with my non-affected side, this is just what it looks like. Push it up as much as you can. Really try to get some flexion in those toes down there. And tap it back on the floor. This one I actually like to do because, but I want you to do it in the mirror, but because if you may not have the feeling in the foot, when we get to the affected side, you may not feel. I had this thing, I can't find mine, that you know, like the little dog toy or whatever, the little thing that makes it squeegee, like if a dog bites it, I don't even know what it's called, like a little squishy, but what is good with that is, as you're trying to push in, you'll know you're pushing down when you hear that squeak. So if you want to throw that in as an extra prop to see that you're actually working and getting some strength and working and pushing through that heel, that's a great tool to use. I'm going to switch sides here and move this foot back. So this one right here, so say for instance, if you're still dealing with foot drop and we have this situation here, it could work in 2 ways. It could be hard or it could be a little easier to do this. But if this is your foot drop here, your toe might be doing one of those. And now we're working on, that's why this is great. We're working on, focus on pressing that heel down. So naturally with that tension, that tone, that spasticity in the foot, it wants to give you one of these and your toes might even curl. Our goal is here. We're doing one of these and we're gonna keep pressing down. May not be as easy. So again, with this one being, having somebody assist you would be good. And if you don't, we really gotta force them to go back against the wall. Always trying to make sure you guys are being as safe as possible. Go back against the wall and work on putting that pressure down to get that foot down. It may pop back up on its own. If it doesn't, we can help pull it up, pushing it back down. Pull it up, pushing it back down. Pushing it back down. So that will be our heel taps, everybody. That concludes our day 7 exercises. And I'll run through them real fast to end the video. We had our hip openers, Both sides. We had our hip slides. Straighten that leg all the way out. Pull it back in. I skipped the, oh no I didn't. Forward and back. Turn sideways. Heel taps. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. And that concludes our day 7. I appreciate y'all for commenting and let me know how these exercises are helping y'all and taking it further. If you need to email me, you can email me at bodybytrace@yahoo.com if I gotta assist you in any other type of way, but I'm on all social media sites under BodyTraceFit. Thank you, stay blessed, and I will see y'all tomorrow on day 8.